Yep.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Arena podcast, better known as WAP. Today we have Apze replacing Ziggy. We don't know if Ziggy is a scuffed Apze or Apze is a scuffed Ziggy, but here he is regardless. And our main guest today will be Ricky Raigeki, SWC contender, RTA extraordinaire, and he wears pants. Other than
Yes,
that,
yes.
does he? Well, as far as I've been told, he wears
Yes.
pants. We cannot
Just for this
confirm.
WAP. Yeah.
Just for the WAP.
Not on my stream.
No, definitely not. It's very
It's getting too
uncomfortable
hot.
to stream with pants on. Today, we don't know what we're doing today. Well, how's your season going so far, Ricky?
I started pretty strong with a rank 1 first week.
I saw that.
Then the Oliver Dominic players coming in, taking all my points back.
Yeah, they remind you that they exist all of a sudden.
But we're still at top 100.
That's good. Better than me. Have you noticed anything before? Obviously, patch is hitting. Even before we even get notes, but you notice anything different with like the first 2 weeks now than we had from last season?
Oh, I mean, Dominic was just recently buffed for like a little over a month or so. Is that correct?
That's right.
Like,
Yeah.
I've seen more players confidently like first picking Masha and Dominic together, and then pairing it up with like Riley, Abilio, Molly, or some LD5s they got.
Yeah.
And it just works. It just works.
Pretty much works with everything. I don't know what he does not work with. It's kind of... Yeah, I don't know what he doesn't work with. No, I haven't come across that yet, but... What about you, Apze? Notice anything different?
The biggest thing I've noticed so far, honestly, is just Dominic gets picked more. I think Masha gets picked a little more. The one that, in my opinion, gets picked the most more in comparison to the end of last season is Shizuka.
Yes.
She's hitting that almost Wusa level where it's just like she's the generalized answer support unit in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's getting picked a ton.
She's actually, don't mind me chiming in there. She's actually like punishing turn 1 really hard. Like if you don't reset her, like with a like first turn more Chongpeng, Arnold,
really,
whatever,
yeah.
she just use skill 3, it's over.
It's odd how effective it is. And thing is, when I try it, it doesn't work. If I were to take a turn 1 comp against them, and they take Shizuka, I just get clapped, even though I know how I'm supposed to control that Shizuka. I'm not so fortunate. It's not just because of Nyx, alright? Forget Nyx. But like if I take my cigar, I've been taking Gani a little bit more nowadays. Obviously, if that Gani goes through, as long as I can assumingly strip the Shizuka, of course I'm fine. But it doesn't seem to work out that way for me. So she has been like the chosen one by comp to us, I feel that. If you take this into your turn 2 comp, she will get the greatest 15 res of all time and pull through in your team.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's like she's the right. This is how like we had Lulu at her peak. When was that 3 or 4 seasons ago? She was like that. Same with Wusa. Wusa still kind of feels like he has that too sometimes when I fight him. Just can't take any debuffs. He can't be reset. He can't be stripped. And I feel like Shizuka has taken that title now for sure. Can't argue that, but yeah. For me, at least only thing I've done since last patch is I pulled a Nora, thankfully, during Special League. Well, I say thankfully, but then I started playing it more, and then I've been not landing strips or provokes on turn 1 for obvious reasons. 70% activation is very punishing. But having fun with that until we get patch notes and see if I can root up something serious. But there is a lot of Masha, which isn't really bothering me, but it is obviously more relevant. And same with Dominic, a lot of Dominic. And Dominic is punishing me a little bit too much, personally. I don't like... I do think he needs to be touched down a little bit still. I know some people don't. What do you guys feel about... Like the current... so let's say the current meta ones. We're talking about Dominic, Masha, and Shizuka, obviously. Just from the regular elements. Do you feel that since they've been... Now we're approaching 2 months since that patch hit. You notice anything like, or are you feeling like they need to be toned down already, or not enough time?
Yeah, I think they'll. You go first.
You go ahead. You're the guest.
No.
Oh, that's true. He got you there. You're first.
I think they all need like a slight nerf, but nothing too crazy.
No.
Nothing too crazy. I think Shizuka in particular, I've been using it a lot myself, of course. The one thing that's frustrating is if you successfully reset her,
Yeah.
if she file procs back to back, she will have S3 back. And it's probably like one of the strongest S3 in the game.
Yes.
So what I am thinking is we can give her like the Ganny treatment where she can't use this on herself.
Ooh.
So she won't be able to have S3 back in like relatively easily.
I want to say
that's
that
like
craps.
yeah.
I want to say that craps on Seimei, but I just remember she doesn't have an S3.
Oh, yeah.
She doesn't, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
But
So yeah,
because I do agree, like Shizuka, I don't know why. Like I said, we've spoken about this before on podcasts. Nobody can justify. Maybe you can chime in. And Apze here when we spoke about this, so we don't need to hear his opinion really on this. But when Shizuka got that buff initially, where they from 1 turn to 2 turn, can you think of a good reason that had to be applied?
I think it's mostly due to the fact that a 1-turn immunity is really, really lame. And they were probably thinking mostly of immunity and then not thinking of how degenerate it is, considering how prevalent things like Laimas and what's the other big invulnerability?
Pontos, kind of, if you want to talk about Pontos.
Not Pontos. What's the one of the ones that's like a single
Water Monkey.
Yeah, or like Water Monkey or something like that.
Ron.
Who?
Like getting
Oberon, yeah, Oberon.
Yeah, Oberon, obviously. But yeah, like the honest, yeah, Shizuka Laima is just cracked AF.
It is. I'm starting to like. I only realized this yesterday. I need to take Shizuka into Laima, and that kind of helps me deal with Laima. But Laima we'll talk about later because I did want to talk about Laima too, or maybe Oracle. We've spoken about it a bit. We'll talk about it again though. But to counter Laima, I'm like thinking maybe I should just take my Shizuka into Laima immediately before they take it, because having both is just nuts. It's just too much. But what was I saying? Can you think of anything, Ricky, or is just like whatever? They gave her 2 turns. Leave it at that.
Also, to add on to the Ganny treatment thing that I suggested earlier, it's so that you can actually one-shot it. If you go turn 2 like Molong Icarus, she can't revive, buff herself, and save herself. You know what I mean? So it's like there's another way to deal with Shizuka.
Yeah,
you can't one-shot her.
Because
here's a thought. What if you made her skill 3 not apply buffs to herself, so she doesn't get to shield up herself, just the rest of her team?
Oh,
I'm not against that either. It is really oppressive. Like, and there's the thing with like units that put up buffs. They don't go through any checks, right? They just throw up the buffs. So I mean, like what I mean by that, like as good as what I'm trying to talk about here. So like strippers, they always have to go through either activation checks or res checks, right? Immunity units, whether they cleanse or whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah, they just put it up.
That's why I rune act. That's why I don't rune act.
Right, and and like we've been proven multiple times, multiple years in this game. 15 res is not exactly 15 res. It happens a little way too often in RTA scenarios. So they should be some sort of punishment to a unit that good who can just freely put up buffs. It's not even about we're not even talking about the debuffs at this point, right? We're still talking about just putting up the buffs. There's no punishment. Right? She just throws it up and that's it. Whether or not go ahead.
Say as a side note to that, and this is a generalized Nyx gripe, but it works for several other debuffs or strippers as well, is that in the era of Shizuka Laima, like stripping 1 buff is comedy.
Yeah.
And the fact that not to shit on Laima again, this is basically I'm trying to shit on Laima. Laima's skill 2 is also a full strip.
Yeah.
And whatever.
So I need to remind myself on something when we head on to this Laima topic, but
is it? I actually didn't know that. Is that 100% activation for
Laima?
100% activation.
That's her awakening. That's her
awakening.
If
I'm not mistaken, it's also a 1 check like Gianna, right?
That's what I'm double checking right now.
Because I believe it replaces into slow. So it's a skill 2 with a 100% chance strip into a replacement, which is a 1 check.
That's pretty dumb.
Yeah, see, that's what people forget too. That's how Praha works as well, and Juno. If they strip, those dots are applied no matter what. no res check is applied to those dots, and they carried that over when they awakened Laima's S2 to be 100% activation. So she'll strip 100% activation rate, and then if she strips, you get slowed. End of discussion. It's just like Gianna. Pretty much all the Oracle strippers do this now. Well, they've always done it. We just never realized that. No, not a lot of people realize that the S2 strips also had that effect, like Gianna's S3. So, yeah. And then, yeah, it's like you were saying, it's comical when you do a single target, even if it's an AoE single strip, against a Laima who puts up 3 buffs, and then against a Shizuka will put up like 4 to 5 buffs on average. 3, yeah, 5. I'd say that's pretty. 4 is pretty much average between like the odd attack buffer here and the odd whatever there. You can pretty much be looking at an average of 4 buffs to be put up. But yeah, and it's hilarious. But yeah, if they can, they do need to tone down Shizuka. I don't see how this is going to be solvable down the line by buffing other units, or it's just an obscene S3 that just makes everyone sick. I don't know. Do you guys feel like no matter what, she needs some sort of tone down?
Yeah, I think so.
So I'm gonna go slightly against that in that I'm not sure that she needs a tone down this patch. The problem is this is like the last patch before prelim. So if she's too OP, and then we find that out, like I like to have at least one season of a unit getting to be kind of busted to make sure that there isn't like a counter that people just haven't even tried yet, But yeah. I don't know.
And there's Oliver.
Yeah, and there's Oliver. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being so close to SWC makes it a little bit more awkward, but I personally wouldn't say to nerf her. But at the same time, like I can definitely see how you would.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. She just doesn't apply to herself, kind of thing, so she can protect herself from being screwed over.
Actually, the skill 2 not applying to her, or not even being able to be used on herself might be all she needs, because then you can just bring a snipe comp and kill her.
Yeah. I'm a fan of that too. Not both at the same time. To be clear, comp to us, don't double nerf and just make the unit completely useless. If, for example, they do listen to this, choose one and stick to one. Don't do like what you did to Joe Gunn and fucking make him.
Yeah, like why do they like? Whose idea is it to like overtune units like that? Give 4 or 5 buffs in one patch.
Yeah, and then over nerf it 2 months down the line. It's obscene. Enough Shizuka though. On to, let's say, Masha, because I still think Masha's perfectly fine. She's really strong, yes, but I still think she's okay. As she's better than okay, obviously. Do you feel that Masha needs to be touched on as well? Is there maybe new counters that came out we don't know about? Ricky, sorry, I'm gonna start saying a name. Get some Ricky.
I'm personally using it. I'm sucking with it, but like I can see the potential of having a unit that always has immunity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna propose another slight tone down. When she uses fast link, she doesn't get immunity. Only skill 1.
So I had,
because this is like a kill, but like this straight up can kill a unit. Like you should be vulnerable after that, right? Yeah, that's my suggestion.
I'm not opposed to it, but at the same time, I'm still not fully bothered by Masha to say I can see the reasoning, because if she does apply, because she needs accuracy to like fully utilize fast link.
Yeah, right? I agree. Like Masha's not like super crazy like Dominic. That's why.
Which is why I'm saving Dominic for last in this. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But what do you think, Apze?
As I actually was gonna go the other way, but a very similar touch, which is, I was thinking it might actually be more interesting. Well, as a person who likes playing CC cleave, I mean, she's obviously like a hard counter to CC cleave.
Yeah.
But what I was actually thinking is that if you gave her the same like immunity uptime, but not the same number of applications, because she's like she reapplies it. So like even doing something like when she gains attack bar, she gets like put it on her passive still, where it's like if she gains attack bar, she gets like a 2-turn immunity. So like she can only apply it to herself like every time she fast links, instead of like every turn just by moving. What's that?
That's a bigger nerf, right?
Oh, it is, yeah. Well, I mean, I was just mostly trying to figure out a way to keep it on the passive, because if they were to change one of her other skills, they would have to do it as like an awakening bonus, and they can't really do that because that's currently the attack speed.
Yeah. I don't think.
I mean, they don't have to. They the dragons obviously can have different skills, and no one's going to complain. But
I think just keep her as she is for now. I don't think she's proven. Not proven, but she's
Can have a couple
such an
more seasons.
oppressive unit. I don't mind that full-on AoE CC is dying. I don't mind that totally. But if it's not solely because of Masha though, so as of now, I don't find Masha.
He's also only getting highlight because it's a good way to deal with Oliver.
Yeah, that's only once Oliver's gone, assumingly.
Yeah, maybe.
He
Masha's
gets
not that strong anymore.
No.
well, I think the biggest thing right now though is it's not just Oliver though. It's also Dominic. Like right now, like her pick rate is so high because the three side, the tripolar meta is 2 wind units and a fire unit. There is no like Shizuka's busted sort of, but she's not like oppressively busted all the time, where the other two are just like they work out of the box against most stuff.
Yeah, you can slap it into any draft and it works because they're very good solo units, which is not a good thing. For like I said, like for Masha, it seems fine how she is, but if we want to transition this into Dominic, then like Dominic, just you can throw him into any draft and he works just fine as long as he's tuned. He will work in any draft essentially. And my problem with Dominic, I guess we're moving on to Dominic, is that he's just too much damage on no negative. Like sure, if you attack break him, if you can pull off an attack break on him, but he's typically moving first on the team. Now, obviously, if you taking a turn 1 comp, but then again, Dominic works with those turn 2 comps that if you take all these supports next to Dominic, he's supported to survive and clap you the turn he moves. So I've always, like, ever since Dominic came out and I've seen his damage and all that crap, I'm like, that guy needs to be toned down like a little bit more. And I was thinking 50% off that passive. But Ricky, before we started podcast, Ricky brought to my attention on the because I don't have one. I have to open it off. This like if he's above 50, he absorbs. I don't even know. This is like a crazy addition for his output as it is, but he can absorb bar above 50, and then I'm sure everyone knows this, and then absorb life under not absorb life, but vampire effect under 50%. If you think, does he really need these 3 effects in his passive? 200% additional true damage based on his attack power. On top of if he's above 50% health, he'll absorb bar. And on top of that, if he's below 50%, he can heal himself. Is this overstacked for a passive? Or is it just okay as he is? What do you think, Apze? Start with Apze.
I haven't had too many situations where like the absorb attack bar was a thing. I was like, oh damn, if only he didn't do that, I would lose, or like I lost due to this ability. I don't know, like it's really hard for me to, because like the below 50% of hit points is kind of like makes sense, like it's his comeback mechanic.
Yeah,
but at the same time, he already does so much damage. Does he need like a comeback mechanic? Like
that's what I'm getting at. Like if he
can come back with 100 health also.
Yeah.
He heals a lot. I keep forgetting about the heal because I'm using my current comp. I was saying I was using Nora, and I'm using dot comps. And when I'm leaving Dominic, and he's provoked, and I leave all these like 3-4 dots on him, he's like, okay, he's gonna die this turn if he procs again. Like if he procs, he's done for. So he's at 1 HP. He has 4 dots on him. He does his S2 or S1, whatever. It doesn't even matter. He heals so much that he procs. The dots don't kill him. And then he's back, he snipes a unit, essentially, at that point. I'm like, this guy already took out a unit just off a single proc. And most people will, like, I've said this before, my 50k HP Bison gets 2-shotted by if he lands Brand, gets 2-shotted by this Dominic, which is insane. And that's where I would say that tone down his true damage down 50%, so he can't 2-shot a unit at least. And then, like you said, attack bar, I don't notice that. I actually really don't ever notice the attack bar taking effect, the absorb. Saying that if he didn't absorb, I wouldn't have lost. I'm with you on that. The heal is obscene on top of all that damage he does without needing vampire runes.
I will say though, I'm not sure that toning out his damage is the way I would go. Like at least not by 50%, because I think if he didn't have the ability to two-shot stuff, he would be literally just a dead unit. I think no one would actually bring him to anything.
To be clear, 50% not meaning half, 50% meaning from 200 to 150.
So it's like 150. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's what I meant by 50. Sorry, I should have clarified because that's how his passive is.
25%.
25%. Yeah, that's great. Then Momo is all of a sudden better than him. But what do you think, Ricky, about Dominic?
Yeah, just basically what you guys mentioned. Like if they nerf his damage too much, he's gonna go back to being unplayable.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you, for us. Have you seen it used in Siege a lot lately?
Yeah, it's
Is it
I hate it in Siege.
Like with Molly
yes.
Long or something? Yeah,
Not
so maybe
Molong,
it'll be
but yeah.
Yeah, maybe it'll be brought to Comto's attention. They love nerfing Siege units. Or,
Yeah, that could be it. But I don't know if they're gonna wait a whole patch.
I'm with Apze on this one. They shouldn't really touch the damage too much. Like if so, even just a little. I'm down for them to take an ability away, like the ATB absorb or the heal, or tone down.
Because even if he didn't have those, right, he's still pretty good. If his passive strictly said 200% additional damage based on your attack power, that's already pretty. Like that's a lot.
Still bring him. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's all he.
I think he'd be. I think he would just not get played in Bruiser quite as much if he didn't heal himself. He would just be
like
more
when I play him against him in RTA, like when I pray for my segment to land debuffs, sometimes I pray the heal block to land. I don't even really care about the defense break. I just need the heal block to land.
The heal block's really nice.
Yeah.
The heal block is such an underrated. Well, it's underrated because not enough units have it really. And if they do have it, it's like a segment or not Nephthys because she has 100% activation, but like you hope sometimes when I used to main segment quite a bit, I'm like hoping that this heal block lands because it's so valuable in the comps you'd be fighting sometimes, and that's why I love that these weapon.
Like even if he kills a unit, like even if I don't barely kill him and then he takes his turn, kills a unit, I can still kill him the following turn. But with his passive, he just goes back to like 60-70% health.
It's quite wild. Yeah. So the vote is to just keep him one more patch, or well, he's most likely going to get touched though. They can't keep him, especially because of Siege. Because
like Masha, Shizuka, they can maybe ignore a patch, but definitely not Dominic.
No,
I don't know. Dominic's weird though to me because like Dominic is actually of the big three right now is the one I care about the least because I play CC Cleave. Like the one main thing is he doesn't have self-protection mechanisms, and that makes him like he's the unit I mostly ignore for most of the fight when you're playing CC.
That's interesting.
Like he's like I like when they like whenever I'm playing my typical thing. To be fair, I have Isis, which makes a big difference against Dominic. But like
a little bit.
Well, I mean, I always try to bring in Oblivion in, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, but Dominic is like the unit I'm glad that they pick because Tomoe works on him, Nyx works on him, Nora works on him, like most of my follow-ups work on him. Like he's just a punching bag basically for CC.
So it works for your comp. See, I'm playing the same comp and I still find he's just killing my Nora all the time, even though it's not like I'm running 50k like I used to run on my Bison.
Well, I mean, the main thing is I concentrate heavily on spreading a stun to him. Like Tomoe, the goal of Tomoe is to land a stun on him typically.
Okay.
So any despair that lands, I spread to Dominic for the first turn. So he starts the game. If I get turn 1, he starts the game with 0 attack bar, stunned, and with like 5 dots on him or whatever.
But they heals off those dots anyway.
Well, I mean, he should never get the move, right? Like even if he gets to attack me once, like he's only at like say 60% health when he takes his first turn, so he doesn't heal on his first attack. So he actually takes the dots, and
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Okay.
In either case, I can. He's overtuned in basically every other situation though, and he's also really good into like ATB reset CC, because I'm playing mostly like stun CC versus full ATB resets now.
Okay, he's good again. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yes. Okay. Well, I guess that's enough on those. The big three of current meta, I guess. We can talk about Laima a little bit now about how cracked she is. I don't know if I can't stand dealing with Laima because I feel like she's also the chosen one that she can't take a cooldown, and even if she does take a cooldown, she's gonna bring her skills back up in a matter of 2 turns.
Yeah,
but
she has the Juno problem, which is the thing I always hated about Juno. Like in previous metas when I tried to use Isis, like okay, you landed Oblivion on Juno. It's a 2-turn Oblivion. So what does that actually mean? Well, because of the skill 1 of an Oracle, the Oblivion's going to be off before your Oblivioner moves again. So like and she basically has the exact same problem except for like silences, CCs, all kinds of stuff, which is that it's like, okay, you reset her. Well, she takes 3 times as many turns as the rest of your team. So you have to keep CCing her every turn, even though you theoretically reset her.
yeah, and that's the problem with all oracles, but Laima specifically, because we've dealt with Sierra for many years. We know that she'll rotate into bomb pretty quick. And same with Gianna. Now that they nerfed her S4 a little bit, that was how many, or S4 S3. I don't know how many patches ago this was, or how many seasons ago it was. Feels like only a year ago, really, that they increased the cooldown, or the cooldown of her S3. Yeah, and even then, like by the thing with the Gianna comp, you don't really notice it as much because usually those Gianna games don't go that long until she gets to pop her S3 again. By the time like CC and attack bar pushback was happening, all that, you don't really see that S3 pop off that much after the turn 1 most of the time.
I think what brought them to the attentions is just the skill 1 of Oracles became way too overpowered after Artifacts.
Yeah.
Like, it was never brought to their attention before Artifacts came out. So I'm pretty sure if Artifacts ran out, Gianna would even be nerfed also.
And in addition to that, like Artifacts, like as people's artifacts get more, because I mean, like my artifacts even aren't all that good still. I mean, they're fine, but like Oracles might be one of the few units that are just getting progressively stronger as the game goes on, just because of artifacts. Like as people farm better artifacts, the Oracles get stronger, and kind of significantly stronger at that. So
it's true.
It's
It's getting harder to deal with the oracles. This is the segue into this is the reason we're talking about. Well, Laima, of course, we know her turn rotation's insane. Her S3 is insane, and her S4 is also insane. And the point of talking about this is, do we want to, when we talk about Laima or oracles in general, do we agree that maybe it's time for their S1 to be knocked down? At the least, is that their S1 gets knocked down from 3 to 2, or they keep it 3 hits but reduce the attack bar. Like they do something to tone down the oracles. Is that a discussion to be had now?
I mean, if it were up to me, it would be nerfed already, but
yeah, we're clearly biased, and I wouldn't want it nerfed.
You wouldn't want it nerfed?
Yeah.
Do you feel like
I think they're strong, but they're never like only Gianna and Laima's an issue, but Sierra, Juno, Praha, they're like top 10, top 15. Like I wouldn't put them as like oppressive.
No, that's what I'm saying as a general statement. Is it just so Laima needs to be like add another cooldown to Laima, or is it just like solve the issue of all these oracles being additional damage monsters rather than really utilizing any of their other skills most of the time? Well, their other skills are obviously still good, but
I mean, my problem is that their skill 1 is like so good that they can just beat their own counters. I mean, this is more of a Juno thing than a Laima thing, but like the fact that the number of water units that Juno can literally just solo.
Oh, it happens all often with me too. Take out my Miles, take out my Molong, take out my Herney, even though Herney's not common, but
it's like, like Dominic and Juno are definitely the kills their own counter units by a long shot.
Yeah. What do you think,
Ricky's making weird faces.
I know. But what do you think? Voice.
I mean, it
Easy
happens. Not as common as Dominic. That's for sure.
I mean, Dominic's special in that regard.
like there's definitely a trade-off because like I'm gonna show you guys my Seer artifact. I actually taken out most of the additionals. The left side is to deal with Masha's and Dominic's now.
Oh wow.
So she's actually doing only like a 1.3. Like she's only tanky for bomb damage, but I miss all my bombs anyways. But yeah,
Awesome.
like there's a trade-off. Like I've been drafting Juno and she's been getting destroyed by Masha. Even
Yeah.
like though I'm greedy with like additionals like this, but
So
like it's not.
Yeah. But that's like that
I guess,
Masha
yeah,
into Juno. It makes sense. Obviously, that's a good way to deal with Junos. But when we're
Like
talking,
there's trade-offs, of course, in using additional damage artifacts.
I guess there's people not running full additionals on their oracles. Then, if Ricky SWC contender multiple times, SWC contender is not forcing additionals on his oracles, and I guess not everyone has to. But it's still,
Juno, I'm gonna force it.
oh yeah, on Juno, obviously. I bet I've been fighting so many. I fight Juno for a living at this point. Ever since I started first picking Nora, essentially, at least second picking it, and the range of Junos I fight from 1.1 per hit to 2.2 per hit. Majority of the time, I'm looking at 1.3s. I don't get it. I don't know what other artifacts you're putting on your Juno, but should always be additional.
Maybe they have fire reduction too. Who knows?
Okay, but my Nora.
But you kind of invite that. Like
yeah.
you invite that pick when you pick Nora.
True, and I anticipate it. I try to fight around it. It sometimes works, it sometimes doesn't. Whatever.
I'm getting a handful of Junos ever since I pulled Volantis. Juno's like my nemesis also.
Yeah. But have you been noticing that you got the 1.2s to the 2.2 Junos, or?
Oh yeah, they're all like 2K plus, 2.1 plus.
Why am I fighting all the weak ones? And it's all the weak ones I lose to too. It's not even that good. I don't know if what they're packing on their Juno, but yeah.
I'm gonna start molonging, I think, finally, because so the way my draft works is I have to last pick something that can kill a Juno, because I need the ability to never ban a Juno. And I've tried Con, and Con's fine, but sometimes you just get dicked by the setup phase of having to land the skill 2 first.
Yeah.
Dominic shits on Juno.
Dominic shits on yes.
Like skill 2, it's
shits on everything.
I hope I have the replay. I probably don't though.
The problem is there's the metagame decision, which is I want them to pick a Dominic into me so that I have like a dead pick, basically.
That's not. Oh yeah, the baiting. Try to bait the certain comp out and then actually stomp it to oblivion.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good strategy. That's why I'm trying to like work around Juno. Juno is the hardest workaround. We can both agree on that. Is if you miss an oblivion, like my Herney misses oblivion on a Juno, or if my I miss a defense break for my setup, like with let's say Masha, I take Masha into Juno, but then I miss the defense break and then she ends up healing everything because I missed that defense break and I couldn't finish off the Juno, then yeah, Juno has a lot more chances to.
Amtos just needs to give me Destiny. That's all there is to it.
Oh, is that all there is to it? Just give Destiny to everyone. Yeah. Not just you. Give me Destiny too while we're at it.
If they were gonna nerf Juno one day, don't nerf this. Just nerf the skill 3 heal or something. I don't know. Limit it to like
only cleanses 2 debuffs at a time. I don't know.
Just change it back to the unnerfed or the original version. That wasn't very good.
Oh no, that's.
Do you even remember what it was? Do you remember what it was?
It has to have at least 2 debuffs.
Did it? Was that actually the condition?
Yeah. If you had 1 debuff, it didn't do it.
I wonder how good that would. That would still kind of pan out.
It would still work against our team. But the main thing is that you could, for instance, like slowly kill her 1v1 with Nora, for instance, because you'd keep healing and then she would actually take dot damage at least some of the time.
Yeah, that's true. That would kind of screw over Juno quite a bit if she had that old passive back.
While we talk about nerfing Juno, let's move on.
Oh, okay. So, well, I've
hated Juno longer than I've hated.
Until I get Juno, I'm for nerfing Juno. Until
I'm gonna call up 2 Nyx Nora players here.
We're getting gangbanged, Ricky. I'm sorry.
The real answer is I need to start first picking.
I'm a CC player too now. I have Volantis.
Volantis is nice.
Volantis is so good.
Okay, next topic, kind of. Let's talk about balance patch predictions. Now we kind of obviously spoke about a little bit with talking about the big 3 meta boys / girls, but What do you guys think is like if there was a trend, quote unquote trend, coming up with like how they've been patching every 2 months? Do you see anything coming up that'll either counter the meta or add to the meta? What do you think, Ricky? We'll talk about one unit you want buffed and then one unit you want nerfed.
Oh, we talked about Nerf a lot, so let's just talk about buff.
Sure, let's talk about buff. If there's a specific one that we haven't spoke about, then bring it up.
I mean, probably Gio, but I want to touch on Christina because that's the most worst design Nat 5 I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, let's talk about it. I'm intrigued.
I think they buffed it the way they buffed Daphnis. I think she occasionally got like one every patch for like 3-4 patches, and she's still like, what is her role, right? Arena offense, arena like siege or RTA, they all suck.
She sucks. Like, she should be a 4-star, is what
like, compare this with like Dominic's passive. This is trash. It resets when you use it, take a turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, don't get me wrong. Like, it does do a lot of damage. I saw a couple
siege videos. Like, she has her uses in siege. Like, I can say that. Yeah.
I honestly think they just need to overload her skill 4. Just make her skill 4 like busted.
Like, look at this. I'm biased. Where's the G1s, right? No one's gonna play this unit at high level.
I tried it when I first pulled it, or not first pulled it, but like I was trying to pair it with Lydia. So I was trying to give them two options.
The biggest comparison is with Lydia. Turn 2 nuke. But...
And Lydia's already really hard to use. Christina is below Lydia by a long shot too, in terms of like getting those stacks up and then popping off the AoE, right? But I tried like on a double shield will thing with decent enough stats, and I was hoping
me too.
Right?
Me too. I tried it.
And then she did nothing. It was very depressing.
And I mean, I think her skill 4 is just begging for a CC component. Like the fact it's already marked as can't glance. Like you could make her a pseudo turn 1 because of the way her ability stacks. Like if you were to like say drop a 2-turn silence on there, right? Then like you would basically be forcing the enemy team to hit you over the next couple turns without doing too much. And then it would basically be charging up for the next one without them getting to do much counterplay. Like I don't know, just something like that. Like I feel like her passive is actually kind of fine. It's just that she doesn't set up for herself, and the kind of team that runs her is not very good.
No.
Yeah, she needs some uniqueness to her abilities because there's way better substitutes out there.
Yeah, and I don't like how her awakening is a skill awakening either, not rather than a stat awakening. That's like I don't know why they had to. They have units that can awaken. Like where's Bella? Bella awakens to a skill as well. Yeah, Bella's kit's a little bit better. I'm not saying that Bella's fine as she is either. She could they could remove or keep the her S4 built in and then give her an awakening on top. Like accuracy for Bella is nuts. Imagine your Bella awakened into accuracy instead of S4. How much better she is. And Christina can get that same little touch up as well. Include the S4, give her crit or speed awakening. There's enough wind units with speed awakening, but she's already better just from that. But yeah.
That's the way you turn a unit from being like okay to being busted, is just give it the speed awakening.
Pretty much. But if Christina had, let's say, speed awakening, is that really a bad thing?
It'd still be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think her skill 4 just needs more, personally, because her skill 4 is just does damage. Like
that's it. And it doesn't glance, which is a great perk, but it's not enough. Yeah. Do you think do you have any suggestions what to add into Christina, Ricky?
Honestly, I don't know. She's kind of she's kind of a lost cause.
She should have just been a 4-star and call it done. But now, because she's a Nat 5, we need to have this discussion. Like, why does this Nat 5 even exist, other than the odd siege offense? Because I do use it for siege offense.
Is there a wind anti-CC unit out there?
A wind anti-CC? Like that can't be stunned, you mean?
Like, can't be pushed back, perhaps, or stuff like that.
Not really. The closest thing would be wind monk.
Maybe they can apply that to her, like either not stunned, not CC'd, or like if this thing gets resetted, she doesn't really do much.
No,
even with this passive up to 5 stack. Yeah.
They could add that. She actually might have a little more value to pump out that S3 or S4, sorry, if she can't be stunned even. Just say she can't be stunned. That's not a bad addition to her, I guess.
Yeah, it's like step in the right direction because she is a turn 2 cleave or turn 2 like unit, like this high base HP, and like you're incentivized to get hit first before you do damage. But yeah, I don't know.
Come to us, look it over, figure something out.
Really, like top 5 for worst snap 5.
Yeah, for sure.
She's definitely candidate.
Right.
So
Who do
can't
you?
be
So I'm
stunned
hoping to get her.
and Darian's passive.
Yes. Why not?
Well, minus the plus damage part.
Something like that.
Oh, you so.
But then she's a Momo. Then she's a Momo.
She's a Momo. A worse Momo. No.
A worse Momo. Yeah. No. Who do you want buffed?
Yeah, this definitely.
Oh, sorry. Who do you want nerfed? Oh, I guess if your nerf list was already in that discussion from earlier, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, just top 3.
No. And is Oliver?
Maybe Riley a little bit. Is Riley giving you guys trouble?
I still hate that she can't be
think that.
silenced and oblivioned or anything in regards to that S4. So they just need to add something like that. Then I think she's fine. She shouldn't bypass.
Yeah.
The technical rules of the game. And add that to Bulwark as well. If I silence a Bulwark, you shouldn't use this S3 either. It's technically a skill. Aside from S1 being your auto attack, I don't think anyone should really be bypassing it. A silence effect. It's not like silence is even meta anyways, but something like that. Or even, I don't know if Oblivion can really apply to Riley. But yeah, I agree with you there. Something like that. For Riley.
Neither silence nor Oblivion works.
Wait, say that again?
Neither silence nor Oblivion works.
Yeah.
Against her.
I thought you said Nora for a second. I'm like, wait, Nora.
No.
Yeah. Well, I was saying neither of them work. Something should work. And yeah, call it a day from there. I don't know. Apps, what do you feel like? What are you hoping for this patch? One buff, one nerf.
Fermion, always.
Always.
It's gonna be the day of Fermion soon.
Keep dreaming.
Just turn him into a defense Daphnis, or just give him something. Make him do a thing. He just needs to do something decisive, and he doesn't do anything decisive.
I feel like that damage reduction is like non-existent.
I mean, it's just like who cares? Like it's like I mean, honestly, the number like units that appear to be designed to be ruined, tanky, and then thrown on a defense, never to be actually played with, is kind of annoying. And when it's an LD5, it's particularly one that I have, it's even worse.
Yeah.
So it's just like, just make him do something. Just have him do something. Like, I don't even care what it is. Like, it could literally be anything.
Are you hoping for like an Arda treatment?
Not even like an Arda treatment. Like, I don't like. I mean, here I'm gonna throw out like a couple shitty buffs. None of these are meant to be probably real ones, but just like, for instance, make his skill 2 area effect. Like, then he's an AE provoke, AE armor break. I mean, be busted. I'm just saying, like, suddenly he goes from being like okay to insane, or like he'd be. It's too strong, right? Like, I'm not don't do that. But like, like make his skill 2 AE. Make give him, because this is a thing they love doing, give him like some kind of shitty ignore defense mechanic. Like maybe his passive is like always copper for like both of his attacks or something. Like
a percentage up to
or something like like something where he's like an actual threat. Because right now it's like, well, the only threatening thing about him is the fact that he can theoretically strip into a provoke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's kind of cool, but so does Rakan. And so does Nora, and so like, there's way better versions of that already.
Yeah,
like he's just a do nothing unit right now, basically.
I don't know, Ricky. I don't know if you see Fermion on defense ever on Siege, because you're like, I think the first guest where I can talk about Siege a little bit with some of these units. Do you ever see Fermion on defense?
Hardly.
Nah, and if you do, what happens? There's a certain AO comp that gets done to such a defense. You know what it is?
I'm not too sure. I just bring
It'd be a
I don't even know what I bring, like Halphas. Does it work against Halfus? Like,
kind of. Yeah.
I just bring like Rika and just dot him to death.
Yeah, but what we're getting at, there is no threat to Fermion on defense or in offense.
Well, how about whoever he provokes, give him some ATB. I think some units had that effect, right? Like Dark Bison and Dark Vagabond. Yeah, would that be like
Oh, that'd
not
be
too
cool.
crazy?
Yeah, because then it's like a self-cycling thing. I mean, literally, like if he, yeah, I mean, that would basically turn him almost directly into Gurkha though, because they even both armor break on skill 2.
But Gurkha doesn't strip. Ah.
It's true.
It's a little bit different.
But
I have to remind myself
Fermion's provoke is actually better. In reality, Fermion is better than Gurkha if you gave him that, probably. Other than the healing, I don't know. They'd basically be the same.
I'm not implying 100%. Well, that's that's kind of busted.
Yeah. But no, yeah, I could definitely see that because like if he could cycle more, like his skill 2 is actually pretty good. It's just, or I don't know. Make his skill 2 strip also, because then he can at least do like a Narsha thing and like cut a hole for a different unit, like that kind of thing. Because I mean, it's an armor break right now, but it's just you have to. It's like right now he can only strip on skill 1, and then the armor breaks on skill 2.
Yeah.
So it's like
you're just hoping for a proc at that point.
Yeah, he takes 2 turns to do what Narsha does in 1 turn, and then has an arguably worse self protection mechanism, and also is not fast.
Yeah, I'm for it. I'm for some sort of like either really good defensive mechanic added or really good offensive mechanic added. Just one, not both, one or the other, and then go from there. See if it's still enough. Imagine he
can do it.
If he can like self cleanse or just give immunity like how Masha does every turn, that could be pretty good turning point for him. Even just that as an example, or if he an offensive one, let's say a provoked unit hits him, then he revenges immediately without needing revenge runes, maybe. So he revenges with S1 to strip and provoke, potentially, and keep that unit strip provoked, maybe? I don't know.
How incredibly busted that would be.
Gurkha can gain bar, but I don't know. But like it could be just like one little tiny addition like that that just like takes them through the roof.
Yeah,
but I don't know. That's just talk though. So yeah, listen. Who do you want to nerf if we haven't spoken about it already?
Probably for nerfs. I mean, I'm not gonna. I like the one I actually would like to suggest is the obligatory ragdoll, but I'm not gonna do that this time. So I'm gonna be nice. I don't know. Like honestly, I think my biggest issue with the game in general. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. I was about to go off on my LD5s are overtuned rant in general. As a whole, they're just too good. But
except Fermion.
Except Fermion. Well, I mean, just say, like there's like 15 blessed LD5s that are just absolutely cracked, and then the rest of them just are not good.
I know that pain all too well, yes. But yeah.
But no, I don't think. Honestly, I don't think there's too much that I really think needs to be nerfed. Like I don't know, like nothing in the meta that out of those ones right now are presenting themselves as being absolutely just stupid OP, right? Like I don't know. I feel like right now the meta is too central. Is basically 4 elementals and 15 LD5s, and that's. And talking about any particular LD5 is like a little bit of a lost cause at the moment. I don't know. I'm pretty boring today.
You're pretty boring today. Got nothing, no exciting unit. Okay, maybe.
Well, it's just like nothing individually annoys me greatly, right? Other than the ones we are.
Mentality to have a lot of things annoy me.
Well, I mean, they annoy me, but not to the point I'm like, oh, this needs to be nerfed. Because most things, it's like either I failed to account for it by my draft, or but there's very few units in the game currently, other than the ones we've already mentioned, that are just like, oh, this is actually imbalanced to the point where it really needs to be nerfed. Like it's just mostly like, oh, I wasn't prepared for this unit, that sort of stuff. Like maybe
Veronica.
Yeah, well, I haven't fought a Veronica yet.
I haven't either.
I mean, she won't get buffed, but in the future, I think she should. Obviously, she's very new unit, but yeah, her kit with the skill is ridiculous.
It is a
Insane.
ridiculous skill.
My guildie has it, and I see the replays, and and sometimes I'm watching him stream his wings in Discord, and that thing just claps everything. Like, that's too good. I don't know what crack they were smoking when they made this unit, but it must have been really good crack. Or really bad crack, I don't know.
Unlike Gianna, she's 104.
Yeah, like, it's... A unit like this doesn't have this good base speed. This is kind of a segue into who I want buffed, is Nyx. God damn.
It's called the we need to sell some scrolls before the end of second quarter, and
yes.
collab is
yeah, pretty much. It's like
I 100% agree with that statement. That's exactly what it is, and they really probably did a good job doing that. I don't know how many Veronicas were pulled during that, but it's wild unit, like beyond wild.
I'm sure people are attempting to pull it right now as we speak.
Mm-hmm. No, they're still trying because they didn't get it through the SP button. But I'm going to use this as a segue for myself, but based on Veronica's release, I now want Nyx S2 to be 100% activation rate for both the strip and the cooldown. Still single target. Alright? It is time for it. He has 98 base speed. He does nothing else, unlike, like, if you want to compare Veronica, like, we're going to use Veronica as a measuring stick. Yes, his passive is sometimes good. Sometimes. And I'm like, sure, the extension is all the time good, most of the time. The 30%... 30%, or, no, sometimes it has no benefit. But, for the 30% to negate is practically non-existent, I've noticed. But I'm not even talking about... I'm going to have to actually retest if that's even bugged. But aside from the 30% being scuffed, I don't think it is OP to have Nyx at a 98 base speed, 100% activation, strip cooldown. Do you guys agree or disagree with this statement? One person here has a Nyx, so he can either...
I agree. I don't have an Nyx, not biased.
You agree? Nyx could do it?
Yeah, sure. Let me show you a Nyx highlight. I think I have...
I mean, what I would actually rather have...
Oh, no. I think it's gone. It was yesterday.
In the assuming they're not going to nerf Shizuka or Laima, the buff I would rather have is 100% chance to strip all buffs, but still have an 80% chance to reset.
I can kind of get behind that because I personally can be tuned for that. But if for the odd person who wants to run Nyx on Swift or like an obscene despair set that's like 15 to 20 speed better than their Vio sets or other despair sets, Nyx's value, he does have this odd value where if he is out of tune with the rest of your units, providing a cooldown, like a strip cooldown, can mitigate that gap, right? Because they don't do anything, even if they do move in front of the rest of your team after a strip. It can still be detrimental, but it's not always detrimental. So if they do it where it's 100% strip rate and 80% cooldown, then yeah, you know what I mean when I said that. Then it slightly then again, it's still ruined the same it would be today, at least for me. My runes on him wouldn't change, but yeah, okay, that could be an option too. I could utilize that definitely, but it's just maybe some other guys can't. But I think it still has pretty good value in that.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing for me is like whenever I'm using it, if generally with Nyx, you're using it in some kind of CC comp, right? And the problem is that like you'll use them first turn, you'll do some kind of CC shenanigans. Eventually they'll proc out, like say 2 turns later. So his cooldown's about to reset, and then it's like a Laima or a Shizuka, and now they have 5 buffs, and it's like, wow, they banned my other stripper. Now Nyx does
nothing.
It's
the greatest gamble of all time. Aside from him not even being 100% activation, to hopefully strip the immunity out of 4 other debuffs. It's the fever dream strip that you're hoping for, pretty much. But I don't know. I think he's due for it. And if they want to apply it to all the Fairy Kings with the Overwhelm of Water and Overwhelm of Fire, it is not OP by any stretch of the imagination. If Samoth has 100% activation on cooldown and slow, that is not broken OP. Same with Daphnis having 100% activation on cooldown and heal block. That is not broken OP. that is perfectly fine. It's actually really good for the meta kind. Like it's only one turn. One turn can make a world of difference, yes, but having it 100% isn't going to.
Yeah, I mean, is there any problem at all? Like, I mean, again, like who picks Pisama when Oliver's in the game?
I do just because I'm so desperate
Right.
to speed contest, but I ruined my Samoth at plus 170 to be tuned, and I
that
do.
unit.
Yeah, sorry.
I
Honestly,
picked it for a long time. I love
I
that.
would
Mm-hmm.
as a weird. I'm gonna go back and add one more unit that I'd like to see buffed. It's actually Samath.
Yes.
Like,
His S2.
well, Samath. Well, his that's the main thing you can buff unless you added like an actual thing on his passive. But like the fact that he's so weak as like a follow-up unit is like it's always a little disappointing. Like the way you could nerf Oliver would be literally just to make the other 33s viable. Then I guess the game turns into a 33 game where everyone just drafts 33s all the time.
Yeah, and I don't want that at all. I don't want that. I hate the speed contention meta. It's kind of gross. But if that, I guess that is an argument for like if Samoth does get 100% activation on S2, just to compete with Oliver better. But then it's like you said, now we're at a 33 loop, 33 contention loop, which is kind of annoying. It's not the greatest of loops to be in. I don't personally like it. But again, if Samoth is the only one who ends up taking second place, then it kind of becomes a rune quality contention. If let's say your opponent takes the Oliver, which was my nerf suggestion. I still want Oliver nerfed, but I don't know. I don't think that would really cause a 33 a speed contention loop, would it? Like I am stomping. Yeah, go ahead.
Sort of a game of chicken, right? Like whoever picks the 33 first forces the other person to pick a 33. But at least there is a 33 to pick, right?
Mm-hmm. Like,
and the issue right now, at least with Oliver, is like Oliver is a true follow-up unit. Like he can actually solo teams. They're like all water. Like I did it earlier actually. Yeah. And it's just like, whereas Samath is like, I went once.
And that's his great celebration in life, right?
Yeah, and even if you put him on violent, it's like, what does he do? It's like, oh, now he hits with skill 1 2 times in a row.
Woohoo! Cool. Maybe I can glance, maybe I can't. Who knows? And yeah, that's pretty much the issue with Samoth. So yeah, I guess if he did become 100% activation on S2, it wouldn't really detriment the meta like Oliver is, which is my nerf suggestion for this patch. I really fucking hope he gets toned down, because I am tired of running a Samoth to contend speed and then losing because Samoth is so significantly weaker to an Oliver comp. Because if I don't pull off my cooldowns, I just lose, right? I'm not saying just because I use Nyx as well, but Samoth on his own, I'm running him at a certain speed to provide the utility that Oliver provides at the same speed that he would be normally sitting at, same as Samoth. You get what I'm saying with that? Like, I have to bring Samoth, because if I have him too slow, he'll get cut, stripped, cooldown, he's 100% dead. All he did was a 33 lead. So I need to have him at a certain speed to be tuned with my other strippers, so that he can hopefully land the cooldown slow, mainly the cooldown. And then I hope that the Oliver doesn't proc out of that cooldown if I ever landed it in the first place, and then I hope I win from there. But the thing is, if I don't take a 33 lead to contend, Oliver just stomps me out of existence, and no matter what. So that's my little ray of hope, is running us Oliver at a Samoth at 170 to contend with Oliver. And I think it's a horrible way to play, but I'm playing it nonetheless. And my nerf suggestion is going to be Oliver, because I can't have that thing exist anymore, dude. I don't want that thing.
Just take his 33 away.
I don't care what they do.
Yeah.
Give it to Christina.
I still till today. It happened to me yesterday when I was streaming. He just went 4 or 5 in a row, and it's not that uncommon. You can't say, "Oh, it's not that uncommon," or "It's not that common."
That's why I told Seer to make that emote Dies of Oliver.
It's such a good emote, dude. The best thing that came out of Oliver is that emote, but then we can get rid of him and still enjoy that emote. You've seen the emote apps? The Dies of Oliver?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's a 10 out of 10, that emote, dude. But, I don't know, when it comes to talking about nerf Oliver, it's appropriate to talk about it since patch is coming up, but either his speed lead...
also the sole reason I first picked Segment.
Yeah, well... Yeah, I stopped using Segment, I gotta be honest, because I've been forcing a lot of Nora, but I'm not exactly playing for...
Honestly, I refuse to pick Samath, So I'd rather just do a high base speed plus 24.
Yeah, I'm sure that works. How often does that work for you? With Sekhmet's?
A lot of times.
Yeah, sure. You're not getting screwed over turn 1 with those 15s.
Oh, I still lose. It's just I get the first turn. I still lose.
Yeah.
Like Oliver can just proc out of the reset, and then he resets me back.
Yeah, and that's the joy of Oliver, is it not? Oh, yeah. That's ends that discussion. But yeah, I don't know. You're still on the Oliver is okay train apps or no?
I'm on the Oliver's kind of okay train. Like the issue is that I don't think the problem is I like looking at the numbers to determine like how OP I think something is, because like when people like give me the anecdote of something is OP, I'm like, well, it should be reflected in data.
Yeah.
And we have data to look at. But I mean, a lot of it right now is there's a lot of like turn 2 Saki players that are perfectly fine fighting Olivers because they weren't planning on going first turn anyway.
Yeah.
And so the biggest problem with Oliver is that of how it messes with the turn 1 meta. And yeah, I mean, honestly though, like I kind of agree he needs to be changed somehow, and it's mostly because even though I hate Juno, the team I run, the way I dealt with the fact people go Oliver Juno is I bring counters for Juno and I ban Oliver. So even though I'm running triple fire a lot of time.
Okay.
And it's mostly just because I don't want to, like if they're around the same speed as me, I don't want to take it 30, I don't want to let them have a 33 lead that has that ability. So that's why I'm on the wishy-washy Oliver is okay question mark, maybe.
You ban Oliver over Juno, and
Yeah.
then you say Oliver is okay, but you hate Juno a lot.
Well, it's easier to build specific counters for Juno, especially whenever you're running ISIS, is the thing.
Yeah. ISIS kind of the what's the word? The trope? Is that the word I'm looking for? No. Like it helps you deal with, so you don't have the exact same view as we do, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, and also it helps that the team I'm running, like ISIS there's a microcosm of a perfect team there, which is, or at least perfect for me, just because like Nora scales based on total number of debuffs, ISIS lays extra debuffs, Tomoe spreads debuff, it's just those four together are actually stupid amounts of synergy. The problem is they will always ban ISIS, so you have to figure something else out.
Yeah, but getting through a Tomo Nora combo is pretty good though in itself. And if you have Nyx in that draft on top, it is really even better because you just extend that provoke continuously, and they're like,
yeah, Apze just needs more Oblivion units. Ooh,
that's what I need. Yeah. I need one very powerful Wind Oblivion unit, and what's his face, the
Delphoid?
Stupid... No, not Delphoid. A good one, not a shitty one. Get that shit out of here.
Oh, Ayunu?
No, like, no.
Who are you talking about?
That's the one I was talking about. That's what I was talking about. Is Ayunu? It's not Ayunu. Get Ayunu out. Although he does technically armor break. Maybe I should be trying Ayunu.
Does he? No, he does branding, not armor break.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's branding. But branding's still sick, right?
Yeah, it is so good. Yeah.
And heal block.
Heal block OP and stun S1.
Heal block is pretty good. Maybe I need to try Ayunu. Maybe I'm gonna go.
No, I'm kind of sold on it. I keep forgetting. I want to rune up Delphoid and like give it a good shot in what do you call it, in RTA, because I love using Delphoid in Siege. I'm actually going to be building a second Delphoid today, possibly a third Delphoid. I might just skip to 3 for Siege. But what were you saying, Ricky? I feel like you were hinting that you want more Oblivion units. Did I?
Yeah. Like
you were. Yeah.
There's a collab coming out, so hopefully
one of them has
regular Nat 5s.
A viable Oblivion unit.
Yeah, we need a wind Nat 5, preferably with a 24 speed lead that has an Oblivion on it.
Okay, you're asking too much, dude.
No. That's what I'm hoping for. Like in my perfect world, the collab has a 24 speed lead, wind Nat 5 with Oblivion.
Okay.
That's my cross my fingers. The game got a lot better for me. Sort of a wish.
Try Uno first, and then we'll make that suggestion.
Yeah. At least Ayunu has a couple comeback mechanics too. The problem is like I have to tune him at the speed of the rest of the team, so I don't get to run like an attack crit damage attack Ayunu. I have to run like a speed attack whatever. Or
Yeah.
speed crit rate attack one or some shit.
Like an additional damage on you is not horrible either. I feel like, what's his base stats again? Hold on. Do I have him out? Ayunu.
But yeah, maybe I'll build Ayunu today.
I don't know where he is.
I showed it on my
Actually-
screen.
Oh yeah. Was it? Oh, that's not. Oh, what's on that 5 or not 5 stats? 6-star stats. Sorry. That's what I'm trying to.
Yeah, Oblivion branding isn't too bad actually.
It really
does,
isn't.
Does branding work on dots? Does it increase dot damage?
No. Keep dreaming.
Oh, it doesn't?
No.
I
Why
know.
would it?
I didn't know.
That would actually be sick.
I didn't know that.
To be honest, I'm making a very presumptuous.
You don't know. You're just fucking guessing.
But there's
over there.
there's no way it does though.
It works on Icarus.
Doesn't it work on bombs?
No, it does not work on bombs. That would be proven and known across the world if that was a.
All right. Well, I'm gonna build them today and we'll test it.
There you go. There's your content for the rest of the night.
Actually, well, no,
rip
you
your
saw the team. I'm
arcade
running.
points.
I did what? I broke up your stream, so you're not going to stream again?
No, I'm gonna stream, but you saw the team I'm running, right? I'm running literally the most abusive pseudo Obabo draft without Obabo runes that you can run.
Yeah, I
basically.
saw the Bella. I didn't see it after that. What it was?
I'm running basically
Just winning turn 1.
I'm running Oliver, Dominic, Bella, Woolyoung, Nikki garbage.
Gross.
It's very gross.
Goddamn gross.
Well,
All right.
You got a shout out for my guild, Apze.
Oh,
I can't read that from here.
Oh.
Swiftford.
Remember who invented Swiftword? Just saying. Yes, it was.
I mean,
Apze.
I think other people did Swiftbird first. The cult build is all I did.
He just popularized it. Popularized? Is that even a word? I think it is.
It is.
All right.
It is word.
Anyways, I think unless you guys have any final points you want to talk about, anything? Anyone?
I'm good.
Bueller?
for now.
Bueller? Yeah. Thank you.
There'll be a lot of content coming out next week.
Hopefully.
Hopefully the balance patch.
Just
You know,
the notes
SWC
alone.
announcement,
Yeah, the notes
all that.
alone.
Yeah,
The best content this game ever puts out, really.
pretty hyped for that.
Yeah. Hopefully collab info. I think collab info will get like 1 month, if I were to guess. And it is confirmed to be a collab if you check Com2S's
I'm so excited
website.
for Chronicles.
Woohoo! I actually, well, to be honest, I do want to give Chronicles a shot.
I will play Chronicles.
Yes, like I'm gonna
least
play it.
for a day.
Yeah, it might lock us in.
The
It might
first
not.
Event scrolls.
Yeah, well, there's gonna be that. Well, it might be enjoyable. Yeah, I'm actually gonna give it a good, definite like. I'm not gonna roast it right out the gate. Give it a good shot. Maybe it's gonna have fun co-op. Probably not, but maybe it will, and we'll go from there. Anyways, though, everyone, thank you for joining us on today's podcast. Unfortunate for
Thanks
Zig,
for having me.
his 30th strain of COVID he's going through right now for some reason. Thank you for joining us, Ricky. Hopefully I have you again after you win SWC. And Rick, Apps, thank you for filling in for
Glad to
Ziggy.
be here.
Always nice to have you on as well. Thank you, everyone. Remember to subscribe because this is what I do for a living now. Just joking.